The Don't Pass Us By project focuses on the economic impact of the light rail transit going through Cedar Riverside, the Central Corridor Light Rail. The project is a partnership between the West Bank CDC and Somali Action Alliance. The funding for the project comes from something called the Corridors of Opportunity, which is a federal funding source designed to help low-income communities of color be more actively engaged in transportation planning. The Central Corridor will travel down the old Washington Avenue right-of-way, which we call the Trench. This is a slide taken from Cedar Avenue, the Cedar Avenue Bridge, looking down on Washington Avenue before construction began. As you can see, there was 4 lanes of traffic, and the new light basically eliminate 2 lanes of auto traffic and install 2 light rail lines. People will be able to get off of the train and get onto a platform in the middle of the street and be able to go up and down stairs and elevators to 19th Avenue here or Cedar Avenue. The city of Minneapolis and Hennepin County hope to have major development, real estate development occur in conjunction with the light rail transit station. The station is located here. The corridor comes down Washington Avenue under the bridges and up the hill next to Coyle Center and then to downtown Minneapolis. This is Cedar Avenue here. This is 19th Avenue here. And all of the land within this red line is considered to be underutilized and available for new construction. The plan that the city and the county produced together identifies these light blue areas as being the prime sites for development, but also the areas in purple are considered to be future development sites that are also near the station. This is a section of the trench. This is the bridge, the Cedar Avenue Bridge now, looking from the side. As you can see, nothing there now. He hopes in the future to have, in addition to the light rail here, they would hope to have all of these major buildings nearby, which will greatly enhance the property tax revenue for the area and the city. And to get some idea of some of the ambitious plans that have been put forward, or ideas that have been forward, there's not a plan, but this is an architectural student project that shows all of these buildings in brown to be new construction around the light rail that occurs down in the trench. Another architectural rendering is this one, in which this is Cedar Avenue, and this is the stairway down to the platform. But all of these buildings around here are new construction. So that's the vision that this architect had for what the future of Cedar Avenue should be. Now the project, our basic message is that first of all, the LRT is coming. Secondly, while it is good, it also has some dangers. And in fact, one of the things that has often happened with transit-oriented development is the displacement of immigrant businesses and businesses of various communities of color. Also, small businesses in general have a difficult time surviving in the market conditions that often arrive with light rail transit. Our message is that we can survive this as a community. We don't necessarily have to be displaced, but we have to act together and we have to act now. In terms of what the future might look like, we're definitely going to be looking towards a more upscale future. And the city, that's exactly what the city would like to see. That's partly what brings new property values. But we're a long way from that now. What we're going to see is some major changes. In a lot of ways, those are good things. But the thing that we have to worry about is that the things we love most about this neighborhood, the character that we value the most, is not necessarily the most profitable. And if market conditions prevail, then what's going to happen is that the profitable things will push the less profitable things out of the neighborhood. And that's what we need to be concerned about. Some examples of where things have happened like this before: Dallas, Texas. Study done by the University of North Texas indicated that in the 4-year period around the construction of the light rail transit, property values in 11 of the 15 stations studied increased by about 100%. Seattle Rainier Valley was as a good example of a immigrant community that was the most diverse neighborhood in the Pacific Northwest. It included Vietnamese, Ethiopian, and Somali businesses. After the construction of a light rail station, there was a 40% decline in minority-owned businesses and an 87% increase in property values within a quarter of a mile of the station. Similar things occurred in the Mission District, a Latino community. Half of the businesses disappeared in an 8-year period. Became a very hip community, very attractive for a lot of people that have the money to spend. But for example, the property values went up, but also the rents went up. One of the pre-existing businesses saw a 63% increase. Portland Interstate Corridor is another example. Again, the upscale business, the way it works is that the transit station attracts higher income people. Higher income people attract upscale businesses. Upscale businesses will pay higher rent, and local businesses can't afford to pay those higher rents. And one of the problems is that cities often help the new businesses, not the existing ones, because they're trying to attract new businesses into the neighborhood. There are a lot of things we can do. Many of them have already been done in one way or another in Cedar Riverside. We could have a land bank in which the city would acquire property and sell it to existing owners. Ways of protecting affordable housing. We could have affordable parking. We could have community-owned mall, for example, that provided to make sure that there was reasonable rents available for businesses that provide services to the local community. Something called forgivable loans, which have been done already during the construction period. And we could also ask the city to help us build a community center that would reflect the values of the community. But all of these options require political clout, and they require money, big public money. And in order to attract this money, in order to demand it from the city, we are going to have to be able to speak with one voice, and we're going to have to speak very clearly. One of the things we should understand is that if you look at the trench as it is now, it's producing no property tax revenue for the city. Or if the city and the county are able to promote significant development, there will be a lot of property tax revenue, and it's reasonable for us that expect that we should some of that new property tax revenue should be available to help the existing community share in this future prosperity. And from a strategic point of view, I think it's important to understand that one, we can't prevent this change. This is a shift in market forces that is beyond our control. And it's probably unwise for us to resist prosperity in the community. It would be hard to get widespread support to say we want to stay poor, we want to stay grungy. And I don't think we want to. I don't think that's what the community in general wants to see happen. But I think it's reasonable and appropriate for us to absolutely insist that we be part of whatever prosperity happens in the future. Whatever occurs, we should be part of it. So what we would like from you is we'd like to know what you would like to keep in the neighborhood, what's important to preserve, and we'd like to know what you think we should do about it. And so we'd like you to join us in a number of ways. One is to just go to our website and take a look at what's there and let us know what you value in the neighborhood. Also to sign up for some focus groups and talk to our outreach workers to share more information, but also to join with us and to work as a community to try to make sure that we can together ensure that we are able to preserve what we value most in our very beautiful community. Thank you.